It wasn't until 1978 that the very first law for child seats was passed in Tennessee, and it took off surprisingly fast. It only took 7 years for all 50 states here in the United States to pass a car seat law requiring kids to be buckled up.
The new issue that kind of started evolving in the early 1990s was the issue of booster seats. And for the most part, when, parents had children that reached around, 50 pounds or the age of, 3 or 4, they would take them out of their child restraint seat and then have them use an adult seat belt. We found out, sadly, through tragedies and crashes, that was not sufficient. An adult seatbelt could not safely restrain a child in a crash.
At the time we started the Partners Project, no state required the use of a booster seat for children over age 4. And many states only covered children up to 18 months or 2 years of age. So there were huge groups of kids left unprotected. We brainstormed and came up with an idea for a project that could study the issue of the safety of children in automobiles, and then thought about developing really a surveillance system that was just for kids in crashes.
It's all about the anatomy of a child and where a seatbelt fits their body. So the seatbelt that's across their lap will hit their hip bones, protecting them from internal injuries. And those couple of extra inches in a booster seat will make sure that the shoulder belt can ride across their shoulder and always on the strong bones.
The hallmarks of the project were State Farm being really the initial field data collectors for the study, transferring data to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and then a group of researchers here translating that into evidence that could then be used to support educational programs, legislation, regulation, new designs in the vehicles.
That really gave us the research and the information that we could go into state legislatures and say, look at the benefits of when you pass a law.
Beginning with the first publications of this study, we started to see a downward trend in the number of children killed in automobile crashes. We estimate that there have probably been on the order of 7,000 lives saved over the period of time that the project existed up till now.
We look at data, so we're looking at the declining death rates of children in cars. That's a great thing.
I was just last week on a business trip picking up a rental car. The woman said to me, "Do you need a child restraint seat for this car?" Now, that had never ever happened to me when I was raising my children and could have used one. But I think that's just sort of a small example of how far we've come.